My speech will begin in 3, 2, 1. Good morning to my honorable judges, friends, and all debaters. My name is Aurora Callista from Prasad Suprema Senior High School. Today, I'm standing here as a proposition team with today's motion. The House will adopt student loan mechanism in Indonesia. So, student loan is actually a system where students could borrow money to help to pay their education and another related stuff such as tuition, book supplies, other supplies, and living costs, which students will repay the money back after they complete their education or after they getting their own income. So here's the mechanism. Student can borrow amount of money from the government or the bank or the university itself. And here's the thing that requires as document, parent salary document, and their own high score. So high score will be very needed in the requirements. And students may have to repay the money with the higher rate than they borrowed before, because there is a loan interest. For example, if I'm a student and then I borrow 18 million for my education fee, which if I have a 5% of loan interest, means as a fresh graduate, I have to pay around 97 million to the bank, which is impossible to do as a fresh graduate. And also, this will be implemented in Indonesia. We must remember that Indonesia is still a developing country. Means, developing countries still have a weakness. They have a lack in their economic growth. They have a lack in a lot of system, in education system. They have a lack in the infrastructure, healthcare, and these countries still face a lot of challenge like poverty, high rate of unemployment. But however, we must accept that this country still have the opportunity, the potential to grow even more. So I would like to bring it to my first argument where I say that students pay higher fee, which is impossible to do as a fresh graduate. Because we also remember that Jakarta minimum wage is around 5 million, and means I have to pay for about 19 years to repay the money, but don't forget the interest will always increases every year. Furthermore, in this amount of time, we don't know what emergency will happen to us. We don't know what the situation that facing us in the present. I may get into a coma, I may get into a disease, or the worstly pandemic can go back to our country, and many people will lose their job, their income, and suffer to repaying the student loan. And that is the reality that we're facing us, because people also need to pay something, not only just student loans. People need to pay their house, a job, and etc. Because in many countries who started to implement this system for many years, there's still a case where citizens still have a problem. People above 40 or 50 years still have unfinished student loan. And this also brings me to my second argument, which I say that this is not a suitable system to be implemented in the developing country. We must accept that Indonesia is in an emergency situation where inflation is real. Now, $1 could almost reach 19,000 rupiah, making every aspect in this country, everything that we need, is increases. Our living costs, food, healthcare, student loan, and even our everything that we need is increases. So logically, central bank will increase their interest rate to against the inflation, because the situation brings more harm than good to the students. Because they seem, at the first, when they apply for the student loan, at first they seem to agree with the system, with the student loans, without knowing what the upcoming condition, what the reality will be facing them in the future. And you must remember, not only for inflation, Indonesia still remain to be a developing country, right? Means there is a still high unemployment rate, which make people compete to each other, and the winner may get a job, but the other may suffer to find a job. Especially, there's a huge gap between a prospective worker and also a job vacancy, which make them even suffer to repay the student loan itself. This brings me to my third argument, where I say there will be a potential of a corruption cases. This system involves a difficult financial flows and also a long term of debt management, including millions of students in Indonesia from Sabang to Merauke. My first point, corruption can happen anywhere, even during the distribution process itself. They may prioritize certain of people unfairly, like their relative one, their family, their kids, or the students that have a political background or political connection. This case creating unfair economic privilege, creating favoritism, creating education access with a program that's supposed to be designed for everyone equally. And this is a lack of the system. And this brings me to my second point. The repayment system may also have a potential to a corruption case. Why? Because those funding could be mismanaged. For example, for embezzlement of money. This creates much risk. In a weak transparency system, this is very possible to happen, especially in a developed country. This also brings me to my last point, where I say this system could also cause data leak. Remember when I say there's a lot of requirements in applying this system, like personal data, track incomes, and also the government itself could manage the debt repayment over many years. So this may open door for illegal practice in developing country, which was proposed to improving the human resource in that country, become fail. The purpose become fail and become illegal practical fail. So the proposition team may say that, but university fees are very expensive. Yes, but the debt is not only the answer nor the safest solution for this problem, because student loans is not a win-win solution for eliminating the student financial pressure. Loan may give access to university, but it's temporary. After they graduate many years, they still cannot build a stable condition of their income situation. And also, furthermore, the system does not really fixing the root of the problem, because let's ask why education is very expensive. Instead of fixing the root of the problem, government seems to give a instant solution with high risk for students to carry, like normalize that as the best pathway to pursue education and achieve the successful era. I believe the argument from the opposition team made the suitable reason to win, because it's based on the lack of implementation in reality, which bring more harm than good. If educators choose the country to adopt this system, means the generation will suffer to find a way to repay back. This is not a win-win solution. Students may carry fear after they graduate. This system is too risky to be implemented in this country. Thank you.